Oh,
Oh,
still
there.
yeah. All right.
So
I
I'm
can hear
here
you
with
still.
Maxx from Libtech. Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Max von Marbod. I'm the sales director for Mervin Manufacturing, which is Libtech.
Right on. So I wanted to go over the new board construction. We got it in the this 7.6 pickup stick. By the
Nice.
way, sick. Yeah, the color and everything like that. It's a little bit lighter color, I noticed. But if you can tell me a little bit about why you guys went with it, with this construction and all the stuff behind it.
Yeah. So that's our new bottle rocket rail construction, and we're starting to sort of trickle it out to boards as we build them. It's a new construction for us, starting in with our spring 2020 surf line, and you'll see it first off in the new Swordfish, Kolohe Andino's Exacta Swordfish, as well as the regular Swordfishes. And then as we start building any new product, we'll start trickling it in. So you guys got probably the very first pickup stick with a bottle rocket construction, and so you'll see more of those. And yeah, we're pretty excited. It's something we've been working on for a couple of years now. And there's a few really interesting features about it. One, it's a little lighter. So the boards are coming in probably about 10% weight reduction with it. And it's also you'll see it's a lighter top. The top of the board has got it's more of a pure white. You can only see just a little bit of that Lanosauric hexagonal material in the top, and then on the bottom you can see it better because we use a basalt fiber on the base for strength. But on the top, it's that light white. And then what really makes these boards stand out visually is that new bottle rocket rail, and it's a light kind of a milky whitish color that's on the rails, and it's a new material, something that's not being used anywhere else in the surf industry. It's a recycled PET, which is a polyethylene, which is what they make milk cartons and water bottles and stuff out of. And that's why we call it bottle rocket, sort of a play on water bottles. So we're taking old water bottles and recycling them into surfboard materials.
So they just like melt it down or something like that, and make the
Yeah,
the red. Or
in essence, it is kind of melted down. So we have a supplier that takes PET water bottles, and they shred all that plastic up, and then that plastic shreds gets put into basically into a big heater, and it gets melted down and then re-extruded into pellets, and then they can use that for all kinds of things. We actually use that same recycled PET in our clothing and our apparel. We've used it in other areas too, but in this case, we're using it for the rails, and it's a very tough. It's a super tough plastic material, and it makes for a nice hard rail. It's really durable, and since it's recycled, it's something that can be re-recycled, and it's something that we feel good because it's an environmentally friendly, reusable resource for us.
yeah.
So we're taking water bottles out of the ocean and putting them back in the ocean as surfboards. So it's kind of fun. But it's got a lot of great advantages. I mean, it makes for a really, really strong, tough rail. So it's really, damage resistant, as we like to say, dang difficult to ding. And they've also got a really nice, clean color to them. So, a lot of guys that are looking for that kind of classic all white look to their surfboards are going to get that look. But as you come up to the rack and start looking at surfboards, you're going to notice our boards look just a little different. That kind of milky white rail stands out, and I think it looks kind of cool.
Yeah. So is this what kind of is this like kind of like a carbon patch or something like that, or?
It is, yeah. So it's a tougher material. It's a carbon fiber based tail pad that we put on on all of our boards. And some of the boards, like the Freak Flag beanbag, we're doing it in some fun colors. In the pickup stick, we do it in that carbon weave, so it's kind of a gray look.
Yeah. Sorry, I ran over and got one of the beanbags since you were talking about it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. By the way, this is so fun. It just catches. I mean, it catches waves like mad. It's a wave catching machine.
I know. I sometimes wonder if there's like some weird hidden jet underneath there. I've caught waves that I shouldn't be able to catch, that I would have thought I was only on a longboard, that longboarders could catch, and I'm catching it on that little Freak Flag, which is such a fun board for everybody to get on. I know the Lost Team guys are loving it. We've got some shots, some great video of the Lost Team riding it, and just a good groveler, a good small wave board. But once it's up, that tail is super fast, and that wingtail makes it loose and fun and keeps that speed up.
Yeah.
So, pretty hyped on that Freak Flag beanbag. That was a great addition to the line this year. Those high volume boards, they're short and a little thicker, are just great for catching waves for just about anybody.
Yeah. Hey, so I know we talked one time and you invited me over to the factory and you were saying, man, you'll be blown away at the factory and how, environmentally friendly it is, because like the guys that are using resin and stuff like that, they don't need to use gloves or masks or anything like that. Can you tell us a little bit about the factory and how it's different compared to a normal factory?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had a long-standing mission to build product in the most environmentally eco-friendly and human being friendly way that we absolutely can. Mostly because, to be honest with you, because we have our friends that work with us and they work in our factory, and we want to be able to have a good, clean working environment that's non-toxic for surfers and skaters and snowboarders to work in for their whole lives. And when you're working with in Tyvek suits and respirators, and you're getting all these noxious fumes around, that's not a real fun place to work. And honestly, that's why a lot of surf factories are they smell like resins, and they smell like lots of VOCs, volatile organic compounds. And it's just not healthy to be breathing that stuff. So when we started making surfboards, it was a little over 10 years ago, we set out to build a surfboard that was built in an environmentally friendly way, a human friendly way, but also a really strong, tough process. And getting all three of those things to happen was honestly a miracle. When you ask Mike Olson, our founder, and he's sort of the mad scientist behind our construction, he even says, he's like, this shouldn't work, but somehow it's a miracle. It works. But we have a really unique proprietary process for building our surfboards. There is not a single component in our board, a single material that is being used by any other surf manufacturer. The only thing I could think of that maybe they would be using are the set screws. That's about it. Everything else is something that we invented, created, and have perfected, and are continuing to perfect, kind of with that bottle rocket construction. It's an evolution of the current construction.
So the rest has low VOC, so it's not really thick or anything?
Correct. It's a very low VOC. When you walk around our factory, what you will notice is people in jeans and t-shirts and hats. You'll notice dogs running around. It's a zero hazardous waste factory. There's no off gassing, and there's no volatile organic compounds that we have to worry about because of the types of resins we use in an eco-friendly resin. This happens to be super strong as well, but it doesn't stink. And the process that we have for infusing these boards, all that happens when they're infusing. It's all kind of captured inside the board, and it doesn't have a lot of off-gassing, and there's no sanding that needs to be done. All that fiberglass and resin that would get sanded out, epoxy resin, none of that has to happen in our process for building surfboards.
Yeah, no, I seen the poster says you don't use any sandpaper, it just water is the solvent, the solvent that you use, and pretty much it's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, and I mean it means that if there's any offcuts of our boards, like when we're cutting out a board, there's some flashing around the kind of the perimeter. Any of that material, all of that can be recycled, or can be ground up and reconstituted and built into new boards.
Wow.
So we don't, which is something that no other surf factory can claim. And as much as there's surf factories that are winning environmentally friendly awards, it all comes down to it. They're all using, sanders, and there's all kinds of fiberglass dust, and none of that is stuff you want to breathe, and none of it is good for the environment. Surfboards are one of the most hazardous materials you can build environmentally, and we figured out a way to build a board that doesn't have any hazardous material and no hazardous waste. So,
So
but
cool.
it's also really tough.
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, I have guys that travel with these boards, and um, yeah, they say that it withstands a lot of the abuse from the airlines and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've had people that have just slapped an airline baggage sticker on the board, not even in a board bag, and just throw it on the baggage cart. And like, well, the board will be fine. You take the fins off it and just send it. And honestly, if you're a traveling surfer, that's a big problem getting to your destination, and then your board snaps, or a fin's been crushed, or a rail's been beat up, and those baggage handlers, man, they're ruthless. So
Yeah.
we love to travel. We have a lot of our team and friends travel all over the world, and we want to build boards that when they get where they're going, they can still surf them.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so stoked to be able to talk to you. So the foam on the inside, that's of course environmentally friendly too, and it's 100% waterproof core.
Yeah, if you happen to puncture a board, and these boards are, you could puncture them. You hit them with a sharp enough rock, you might poke a hole in it. They don't take on any water. It's a hydrophobic material, and it's a closed cell foam. So unlike EPS or the old Clark foam, any of that kind of stuff, our foam doesn't take on any water. So what we recommend people do is if you're traveling, you're on a surf trip, and your board gets punctured. Slap a sticker on it and keep surfing it, because it's not going to absorb any water. Whereas another board, that water gets inside of there, and it erodes the foam, or it starts to break up the glass. None of that happens in our construction. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. In fact, we've got guys that reshape our boards, and just they're, I want to cut off the tail and make it a wake surfer, or I'm trying to harden up a rail. I'll reshape a rail, and like, you can do it with them. They won't take on any water. Wouldn't say it's going to be good for your warranty, but these boards are pretty tough.
Yeah, but I tell guys if they do get a puncture, the in between layer of water can get in. So I tell them, man, you should just repair it. But if you get a big hole and you need, like you said, you need to keep on surfing, just put a sticker over it and just keep on surfing. And then when you get a chance, repair it after
Exactly,
this.
Brock. Just throw a sticker on it and keep going, and fix it when
Yeah,
you get home. And you can fix it with a regular like solar tier works really well. Any kind of a two-piece epoxy.
so does it have to be an EPS epoxy to repair it?
We advise that you use an EPS style epoxy if you're gonna repair it. Not to use that like a polyester epoxy.
Yeah, just eat the foam, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right on. And then some of the new boards, you guys. So these fit the FCS twos, and then some of the newer ones like the Quiver Killer has an option for the future fins also.
Yeah, so our original FOC, we call it FOC2, which is freedom of choice. That's what the FOC stands for FOC. For FOC2, which has those two set screws, those will fit a two-tab fin, an FCS2, or our new Libtech fins. So those slide right in there, and you'll notice the fin boxes are a little longer than the two-tab, so that you can actually center up the fins and get it exactly the way you like it. So some people like to surf their fins a little forward. So
Yeah.
especially with our fins, it allows you to slide those fins in the fin box and dial in your fin preference exactly to what you like to have.
Yeah.
Now we also have a new Futures compatible fin box that works with Futures fins. and it's got those set screws on at either end. So one at the front and one in the back.
Yeah,
and you can if you want to grab one.
Yep. Grab one here. I can't find it. Sorry.
Well, I might be able to find one and show it to you.
Sorry.
Let's see if I can find one here.
Has one here. Oh, I got it right here. Thanks. Sorry.
Hey, you got one?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm now in our surfboard room, so you can kind of see.
Not an FCS Futures one. Sorry.
Let's see what I've got in here. If I've got a.
It doesn't look like I have a Futures one with me.
Okay. Well, I've got one.
There's one?
No. I've got one here.
Sorry.
I'll show you. Let's see here. Flip the screen around here. All right, so here's our Fox 2. You can see those set screws in the front and in the front and the back here. And let me grab a set of fins. See if I've got any fins around here.
Oh, see your guys' showroom too. It's pretty thick.
Oh yeah, we got all of our new snowboards and skis and everything here inside our headquarters here in Seattle. And then here's our whole new surf line and wake surf line.
That's the new is that the new one? The
Kolohe? This is the new Kolohe, Swordfish.
Swordfish.
Kolohe Andino's new creation.
We got thing in I think March, yeah.
Yeah, those will be available starting March 1st.
Oh, I can't wait. By the way, for you guys that are listening, we're taking pre-book, so we got a bunch Maxx has on order for us.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having a hard time finding our
That's all right.
futures fins for you, but just to kind of finish up with the futures compatibility. Yeah. So you can slide your fins right in here, and with the set screw in the back, you can lock it just like you normally would with your normal futures, or you can. And then you would drop the fin in the front there, and then screw in the front, and that locks your fin in. Now, what's nice about our system that even Futures doesn't have is the ability to lock the front and the back, so you can really get those fins super snug and tight, and you don't get any flutter like some of the Futures that we've seen. If they're not perfectly set in there, they can get a little bit of a flutter, and this locks them in really hard.
Right
so
on.
That's our new future compatible fin box that we developed this past year. And we started it with the Quiver Killer. And now we've got it in the new Puddle Jumper HP. So that's available starting this spring too. So you can see it in the Puddle Jumper and in the Quiver Killer. And as we develop new shapes, we may look at adding it to others.
Can I check out that Kolohe Andino board? I want to check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
Man. Yeah.
And inside of our store, we actually have the poster covered up in that board. So
cool. Well, let me show it to you.
So the guys that are watching this video will be stuck on the board.
So here's the new Kolohe Andino. So it's got a fishtail, and then it's got Matt's got a little bit of side cut to it. You can kind of see it here. It's got that kind of flatter section towards the tail, and then a nice hard rail. Up rail running all the way up the length of the board, and then on the back it's a 5-fin compatible, and then here's some specs for you here. See if I've got his specs here.
There's 2.4 volume 30. Oh, that's my volume.
Hey, there's your board, buddy. And then, running all the way up the line here, you've got Kolohe's new logos.
Right on.
So, let me stand it up for you here, and you can kind of see it vertically. So here is the Swordfish.
It's kind of like a more performance-y looking round-nosed fish.
Exactly. It's a little bit more pulled in the nose than the RNF. and then it's got that that tight tail with that new kind of side cut built into it that Matt's been using.
Oh man, that board looks sick.
Oh, it's beautiful. And then there's Kolohe himself. We have one that's called the Exacta. That's a slightly narrower and thinner than the other sizes too. If you want to get exactly what Kolohe serves, it's a little bit thin for me. I'm a little bit big and not a good enough surfer for it. But if you're that guy, it's a killer board. So yeah, that's the new Swordfish.
Right on. Hey, thank you very much for going through all this stuff for me, man. I really appreciate it.
Happy to help anytime, David. We love you guys, man. I was just talking about you today, about Hawaiian South Shore. You're our favorite shop, man. You guys treat us so well, and you've been a supporter since day one, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we've been stoked on this stuff. So, man, that's the lineup right there, huh?
That's it, man. Yeah, let's see if we walk through it here. So you've got the this is the RNF, and then next up is the Freak Flag beanbag, and then you've got the Quiver Killer behind that, and then the Puddle Jumper HP. Let's get around here, and then the Puddle Jumper. And then behind that, you've got the
funnelator.
Yeah, you got a funnelator. And then the new Swordfish.
Yeah.
Whole lineup. There's I don't have any pickup sticks in the showroom right now because we can't seem to build them fast enough. I'm like the last guy that gets one here in my showroom, but they're out there too. You got one before me, man.
Yeah, we were lucky to get this one because it's like you said, it's hard to get this board and. Have so many guys that tried the board and they're just really stoked on it. We actually got the very one, the 7.6 that Mike Olson brought when he came on vacation a couple years ago, and he took it off the press, and he's like, these boards are not even ready, but I told him to hurry up and make one so I can take it on my trip. So we actually
no way.
Yeah.
You got some pretty high profile boards, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. You're getting the first ones off the press. Well, and then I know we got you. You guys got something. Was it a PJHP or a Swordfish or something that came in? Or I guess it was a Puddle Jumper HP that you guys got. The Futures one.
Yep.
So hopefully, we'll keep accidentally shipping you cool stuff.
Right on, man. Hey, thank you very much for your time, and maybe we'll do another interview when we get some more new stuff.
Anytime, brother. I'm always down to talk. Love to see you.
Right on. Take it easy.
All right, man. Take care. Peace.